नमस्कार वेलकम टू एज़ुग्यान IAS आशा करुँची आपण प्रिपरेशन भल चलथिबो मु आपनको आउथरे स्वागत करिया चाहूँची आम वीडियो सीरीज रे जहाँ माध्यम रे आमे UPSC प्रीलिम्स प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस कवर करूचे दिस इज द पार्ट 2 ऑफ द वीडियो मु आशा करुँची आपण पार्ट 1 देखि सारछंती पार्ट 1 रे मु पॉलिटी और इकोनॉमी रो प्रीलिम्स 2023 रो क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करिछि at depth discuss karichi in an analytical way discuss karichi with proper screenshots of concepts constitution and everything jodi apan dekhi nahanti I would urge you to please go have a look and if you have watched that and have come here for part 2 then I would like to welcome you all aji ame geography and environment section cover kariba prelims 2023 ro before getting started with the video amo institute is conducting a scholarship test for this Sankalp Foundation batch. Based on your rank, you can get 100%, 50%, 30% off on the course fees. There's an upcoming Sankalp Foundation batch. There's a CSAT complete package. There's a OCS prelims test series. OCS ebe October, September, October ke bhi he pare. And ता ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ prelims test series भी ଆମେ launch କରୁଛୁ. Numbers ଆପଣ screen ରେ ଅଛି. ଆପଣ WhatsApp କରିପାରିବେ, call କରିପାରିବେ. ଆପଣ ଯଦି ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍ ରେ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି and ଆମେ ଏଠି ଅଛୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗାଇଡ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ so please call us we'll provide the best possible guidance to you so let's get started with today's video like I said आज ଆମେ environment and geography cover କରିବା unlike economy and polity जोटा कि टिके more conceptual level रे थिला you will find these questions majorly are factual and hence आमे जहाँ तार अंडरलाइन कॉन्सेप्ट अच्छी ताको बुझा को चेष्टा करिया सांगे रे एटा भी जानिया चेष्टा करिया कि से कौन फैक्ट्स आपन डिमांड करूचंती कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन यू शुड हैव एज एन एस्पिरेंट एज अ एस्पायरिंग IAS ऑफिसर IPS ऑफिसर ओके लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड सो दिस इज अ टिपिकल ज्योग्राफी क्वेश्चन ऑलमोस्ट एवरी ईयर आपन रिवर्स वेटलैंड्स बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व्स नेशनल पार्क्स वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज समस्त ए सब टॉपिक्स ऊपर निश्चय क्वेश्चन पाइबे let's read the question Jhelum river passes through the Wular lake statement number 1 Krishna river feeds the Koleru lake so they are not exclusively centered on rivers only see Koleru lake asigala Koleru is a Ramsar site if you know so see Ramsar sites ko padele Wular lake is a Ramsar site if you know this is also a Ramsar site meandering of Gandak river formed the Kanwar lake this is also a Ramsar site so आपण देखुछंती केतेडा जिंसर नॉलेज एठी दरकार अछि there is river knowledge there is Ramsar site knowledge then आपण you should have heard about these places also this was in news last year because this was newly designated as a Ramsar site last year so let's try to solve this कौन our answer see this is correct Wular Lake, Jhelum River is correct. This is wrong and this is also wrong. The answer is only one, but I'll give you the explanation. This is Srinagar. This is the Jhelum River. This is the Indus River system, by the way. This is the Jhelum River. एठू start होची तळू Srinagar pass करके जाए near above Srinagar here there is a place called Bandipora जोड़ा कि यूनियन टेरिटरी ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर आसुची Bandipora रे you have the Wular lake Wular is a word that has been derived from a Kashmiri word called wool. Wool means depression or fissure. Thousands of years ago, lakhs of years ago, maybe 10,000 years ago, there was a tectonic event there due to which a depression was created. This river came and filled its water with its river Jhelum and so you have the Wular lake here then the Krishna this is the Krishna river this is the Godavari river this is Andhra Pradesh Koleru Lake is somewhere here. So the statement that Krishna is directly feeding Koleru is wrong. It's not directly feeding Koleru. मझिरे अच्छी यार बहुत सारे ट्रिब्यूटरीज अच्छी यार बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे ट्रिब्यूटरीज अच्छी all these tributaries, yes, they have a role in feeding waters to this lake, but Krishna doesn't directly feed waters to its lake. So this is a wrong statement. Koleru is here. It is in the Elluru district of Andhra Pradesh. Okay. And the third one was Kanwar Lake and Gandak River. Okay. So this is the Gandak River. But that is a wrong statement. Why? Because Kanwar Lake, which is somewhere here, is fed by this is another river called Budhi Gandak. Budhi Gandak river rises in the West Champaran district of Bihar, and this Kanwar Tal, which is also the first Ramsar site of Bihar, which was announced in 2021 or 22 maybe. That is the river responsible for this lake. Now this not directly, it is an oxbow lake. You know what is an oxbow lake? Oxbow lake is what? A river is flowing. So river A part is eroding this bank. धीरे 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 इरोड करी करी रिवर रो पाथ टा चेंज हे चलची से इरोड करी 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 तार कर्वेचर इज गेटिंग चेंज्ड इवेंचुअली ओवर अ जियोलॉजिकल स्केल ऑफ टाइम say thousands of years or even lakhs of years, this straight river which was once straight has come down to this form. Okay, now after this what will happen? Now this will also start eroding this bank, this bedrock. ये इरोड करी करी आगु बढ़ी चलियो बढ़ी चलियो बढ़ी चलियो यार कर्व आवरी एमती मोड़ी ही चलिबो. दिस इज लाइक दिस एमती धीरे धीरे एकदम पाखे आसीबो and eventually what will happen, this becomes a lake on its own called an oxbow lake and the river starts flowing parallel to it. आउ तांको भितरे कनेक्शन किछि रहिबनी से जो एठी थिला this basically becomes cut off. एठी इरोड करी करी आगु को cut off ହେଇଯିବ and hence you get a oxbow lake. Why an oxbow lake? Because ox ro hump looks like this, hence it's called a oxbow lake. Okay. So what I was saying, Kanwar Tal is an oxbow lake of the Budhi Gandak river which flows something like this and joins Ganga near Munger in Bihar. This is Munger, somewhere here is Munger. Okay, and somewhere here is Kanwar Tal. So we have our options, we have our answer with us. Only one. Okay, let's move to the next question. Yeah, like I said, even in the last video I was showing you eta kotu pachara hechi previous year questions re. So 2010 ro gote question ase thir dita direct options which of the following page is not correctly matched. Dam and lake pacharche तांको भितर गोटे ऑप्शन थिला कोलेरू, सेठी भी सेया ही पचार थिला कृष्णा कोलेरू. ओके, आ गोटे ऑप्शन थिला वुलर, सेठी भी सेया ही पचार थिला झेलम वुलर. ऑफ कोर्स जेतु कवरताल वाज अ करंट अफेयर्स थिंग से गोटे ऑप्शंस इधर ऐड कर देले, बट two of the three options were already asked in the exact same terms in the previous year. So if you had solved this question would have been easy because current affairs रे anyway आपण कवरताल निश्चय कवर करता थे. This again is a factual question. Ports रो ना दिया हेची, तीनटा ports रो ना दिया हेची and तांको अगेन से गोटे fact अछि. You have to recognize this fact is true or not. Okay, let's go one by one. Kamarajar Port is the first major port in India registered as a company. Absolutely correct. Mundra port is the largest privately owned port in India. Again, absolutely correct. Visakhapatnam is the largest container port in India. This is wrong. Actually, the largest container port right now is again Mundra. This very port is also the largest port. So this actually is a option for 2 of the 3 given options, and hence you have only 2 pairs correct. I have prepared a solution for you. Let's just read through it because this is purely factual. So Kamrajar port located on the Coromandel coast about 24 km north of Chennai port. वो आपको आगु को map भी दिखे देवी. Is the only corporatized major port and is registered as a company. This correct. Mundra is India's biggest private port, and of course, who owns Mundra? Adani Sahab hamare. And this is a screenshot of that third option, that Mundra PIPS JNPT. What is JNPT? Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. Eta kodi achi? Bombay re, Mumbai re dita ports achanti. One of them is JNPT. JNPT to become Asia's biggest container port. Eta hi third option re pacharthila, and Vizag option diya hitla. So the Adani's Mundra port again is the answer for that particular option, and so you have 2 right and 1 correct, and answer is only 2. Okay, I'll show you a map here. These are the major ports. You can pause, you can take a screenshot, you can save the screenshot for your future reference. Just let me show you what was asked. Mundra ethi achi, Vizag ethi achi, and Ennore is here. Okay. And these are the major ports of India. Let me tell you a bit some factual things. What are major ports? Major ports are under the central government. There are 13 in total. Aute ebe katha chalchi Vadhavan in Gujarat. Taku bhi major port pai banaya pai katha chalchi. But as of now there are 13. 13 ro eti pura list achi. Kandla, Mumbai, Marmugao in Goa, Mangalore, Kochi, Tuticorin in Chennai, Port Blair, Ennore, Visakhapatnam, Paradip, Kolkata. Okay. Then if these are major ports, then what are minor ports? These are under the state government. Okay. Mate apna comment section re batebe. If Paradip is a major port in India, Odisha ro ko dita port are minor ports. Mu gotte hint de dochi. One is Dhamra. Odisha ro ko dita ports are minor ports. Which is this one? This you have to tell me in the comment section. Major ports, Indian Port Trust Act 1908. Indian Ports Act 1908. This is the law that governs major ports in India. And ebe gote Indian Ports Bill 2022, which is right now under consideration in the parliament. This wants to end this law. 1908 was when British was here. So both statutes have become outdated. So they have brought this bill. It has not been passed. It is under a special parliamentary committee. Se mane raku study korchundi, read korchundi. Ei sabu ports ro committees manodu se mane magichanti, recommendations magichanti. Kon ame change kari pariba, kon nahi. But it will soon be passed, and this then will become the law. Indian Ports Bill 2022. I hope I think etiki dorkar. Abeda kai pachara heichi again yaro bi gote previous year question dekhochi. Dita dekhochi in fact. Gote hela semane Chabahar port bisare pacharthile. So you should know ki jodi Chabahar port bisare pacharchandi, which is in Iran, then Indian ports bisare kai pachari paribeni. So one should have ideally prepared ki Indian ports bisare padiba. And CRPF, Central Armed Police Force. See, as a UPSC aspirant, it's not your job only to solve previous prelims question papers. You also have to solve CRPF, Combined Defense Service, CDS, NDA, and a couple of other exams. Even ajikal to pilla geoscientist exam ro bhi paper solve korchundi, just because UPSC is the conducting authority. तांकर question bank even though exam wise अलगा अलगा थिबो बहुत जिनस मैच करि जाए ए जोटा कि CRPF 2018 रे पचार थिला सेटा अगेन प्रीलिम्स 2020 रे भी पचारि दियंती तो CRPF रे गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला कोलकाता पोर्ट ऑफ कोचिन Maharashtra has 3 major ports Mundra port see already I already have an indication that what are the lines that I need to prepare my content on 80 direct पचारुछि कि private sector रे अछि Mundra port is India's major port in private sector which we just saw it's correct it's Adani's port right so I should know that ports विषय रे first तो तांकर maps location केतेले पचार दबो north to south arrange करो केतेले पचार दबो east coast रे कोटा west coast रे कोटा then I should know also as an aspirant that they are asking for facts and every at least major port not every port just 13 major ports विषय रे म तांको Wikipedia page खोलिबी या तांको trust website को जिबी and then I'll just prepare a few content points कि एच जदि किछ पचार देला at least I should be able to eliminate the options so this is how again previous year questions helped you okay again purely factual but let's see what's asked these are the trees jackfruit जोटा कि हम ओडिया रे पणस कहू महुआ टीक तीनटा ट्रीज रो ना देछि से पचारछि which of the above are deciduous very typical UPSC question बार deciduous evergreen mountain grassland आंको भितरे they keep visiting one aspect of India's vegetation every other year in the UPSC prelims paper this year they chose deciduous forest but ताको difficult कौन कर देले see examples पचार देले समस्त examples generally मन रखंतनी मेंस पे मन रखी जानती but because answers रे लिखिया रहता है but these are very peculiar examples जोटा कि if you don't know then सेठी बसी कि there is no way you can tell कि पणस evergreen थिला या deciduous थिला बुझले okay so answer is only two these two are deciduous this is not a deciduous this is an evergreen thing this is evergreen okay let me just tell you briefly about what are deciduous forests because it हमें cover कोर्चे भल से तो ता concept भी जानिया important so there are two types of deciduous forest there is a moist deciduous forest there is dry deciduous forest dry deciduous कौन पाई because they have a larger or a longer dry season as in when they are shedding deciduous trees in their essence of what they shed their leaves to conserve moisture because तांको सबु बेले वर्षा मिलुनी पानी मिलुनी dry deciduous forests shed their leaves for longer periods of time यदि 6 मास वर्षा पाइले 6 मास यदि तांको पाखे नहीं तो almost 3-4 months they'll shed their leaves moist deciduous forest maybe will shed their leaves for 1 or 2 months it will depend from region to region in India okay see this is the vegetation map of India green tracts these are the moist ones these are the evergreen forests these are the evergreen forest this light green tract are the moist ones and this light brown light yellow things are the dry ones this is moist deciduous forest this is dry deciduous forest okay and you can tell the reason कौन पाई एमती हेतिबो because एठू Arabian Sea रो monsoon winds आछुंदी so coastal area रे वर्षा भलो होची एठी बे ऑफ बेंगल रो monsoon winds आछुची अगेन coastal areas रे वर्षा भलो होची बे ऑफ बेंगल ए रीजन को क्रॉस करी जाउची सेत पई ए रीजन रे नॉर्थ ईस्ट monsoon आसे if you have read about this in geography Chennai gets its rains from northeast monsoon not from the southwest monsoons so Bay of Bengal directly comes and hits northern Andhra Pradesh and Odisha and enters Bihar Bengal goes to UP now these are the regions that are near the coast the interior parts of India interior parts are what flatlands plateaus माने बेसी hills नाही orographic rain करिया पई plus moisture जेतल सब जागो एथि सरी जाउची by the time this moisture is coming here maximum moisture has already been shed most of these regions have hills in them एठी western ghats अछि एठी eastern ghats अछि so eastern ghats रे बाड़े हेई की which is known as orographic rain so because these regions have orographic rain these regions have एठी Himalayas Shivaliks एठी आस जाउचंती एठी Himalayas अछि because orographic rain iti hochi so they are getting more rain and hence they have deciduous and evergreen forest these are plateaus ete bada bada pahad seti nahi plus moisture sar jauchi so they are dry deciduous forest So this was the underlying concept, and this was a factual question, but I thought I should tell you about this conceptual thing. So these forests are found: teak, sal, shisham, and mahua are the examples of moist deciduous forest. Dry deciduous forest रे भी किसटा examples अच्छी? तेंदू, पाला, बेल, axlewood, kher. Okay, but jackfruit is a evergreen tree, native to tropical Asia and widely grown throughout the wetland tropics for its large fruits and durable wood. Like I said, पणस आम ओडिया culture रो गोटे बहुत important staple diet. Okay, so this was a factual question. Easy question ही कोई भी, because teak sal you should have known teak sal. Again, why? Because ए देखंतु क्वेश्चन केमती आछी, एवरग्रीन मैंग्रोव डेसिडुअस फॉरेस्ट विषय जदि क्वेश्चन पचारची, ड्यूटी नंबर 1 you have to prepare content on evergreen, mangrove and deciduous forest. Okay, next, in India which one of the following types of forest is teak a dominant species of? 2015 question exact same ही तो जदि आपण टीक जेतेले एई क्वेश्चन दा सॉल्व करिवे और आपण पढ़ले कि टीक विषय रे पचारला, सो यू इट्स योर ड्यूटी टू रिसर्च कि जदि यार आंसर इज deciduous forest ताले आउ deciduous forest रो examples कोण, tropical rain forest रो examples कोण, scrub forest रो examples कोण. Okay, so yeah, again the role of PYQs. Very factual again. Which one of the following is the best example of repeated falls in the sea level giving rise to present day extensive marshland? See, when you hear the word marshland, what is marshland? Marshland is a submerged or water saturated area basically. माने एठिकार ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल is always up to filled to the brim always, and it's a marshy area basically. This marshy area, the marshland is coming from the word marshes. Sundarbans हेगला, even Bhitarkanika for example are marshes. Okay, mangroves are marshes, but here Bhitarkanika is not the answer, because question is not marshland कौन आको भितर, because everything is marshland here. Repeated falls in sea level is the answer, is the question. Okay, and the answer is run of Kutch. यार ओटे photo देछि एठी. This is the run of Kutch. समुद्र भलिया लागुची ना नहीं, because erstwhile it was a sea, it was part of the Arabian Sea, it was part of the Arabian Sea. Over a geological scale of time, again there has been fall in sea level. Sea level has fallen down, so the sea has receded back. Land recede करी करी पछू पड़ेची, and hence जो सब salt pans and all the manufacturing of salt area रे बहुत हुए. Okay, because these all are salt pans, and the answer is run of Kutch. Okay. Okay, exam काई पचरा है because लूनी विषय पचारथिले से माने थरे 2010 रे. Luni, it flows into the Gulf of Kutch. The moment you read Luni, you have to prepare your notes on Luni. Okay, and this also tells you that mate auri ke jeta rivers विषय एमती तांको source कोन, तांको mouth कोडा, I have to prepare as an aspirant. The moment you see Gulf of Khambat, you have to go and read about Gulf of Khambat. Now it is the Gulf of Kutch option रे अच्छी. It is marshy land of the run of Kutch. से एया ही exactly एया ही पचार छे, बुझले. The moment you see run of Kutch विषय विकिपीडिया गले खोल देले, and सेठी first line रे लिखा है it was once a part of the Arabian Sea but has now become detached from the main sea. Okay, and you know the answer to that question. Well, let me tell you something about ए जो पचार छे, it is lost in the marshy land of run of Kutch. This is the answer actually. These are also known as my handwriting, pardon my handwriting. endorheic drainage. They do not, these rivers do not meet the sea. They get lost while they are on their ways to sea. आमे कौन जानछे नदी जाएंगी कोना कोटे समुद्र विषय रे समुद्र संगे मिसुची नले एज अ ट्रिब्यूटरी एज और एज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरी कोटे नदी संगे जाएंगी तार सम सॉर्ट ऑफ कनेक्शन रोची. बट केतेटा नदी अछंती जे कि डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरी ट्रिब्यूटरी नुहे या फिर इवन सी को भी जिबेनी से माने मझिरे कोडी हजि जिबे बाय गोइंग. दिस इज द लैंड, दिस इज द लैंड सरफेस. रिवर एठी बोची गोटे गोटे रिवर एमती तळुआ पळेबे एंड दे विल गेट लॉस्ट इन दिस लैंड्स. Okay, so if the तळुआ जेतेबेले पळांती they are known as inland, this is known as inland drainage or endorheic drainage. This is why this question was asked. लूनी रे 2010 डायरेक्ट पचारथिला. मु एतेल जा ऑलमोस्ट 30 क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करि सारलेनी पार्ट 1 रो वीडियोस मिस सही के, and for I think 20 to 23 questions I have showed you some direct or indirect previous year question for all of them. Almost word by word ru semani taku ye kari pacharchan. So even though last year cutoff was 75, which tells me ki the question paper was very difficult, I was able to clear the prelims. I wrote mains last year, but it also tells you that if you prepare in a structured manner, there are questions that you will be able to attempt, and there are at least 40 questions. 100 ru 40 टा question kale 80 mark. ओके 50 टा क्वेश्चन कले 40 टा ठीक 45 टा ठीक कि 5 टा भूल हेले बी यू विल गेट थ्रू द कट ऑफ, एंड दोस 50 क्वेश्चंस आर बाउंड टू बी फ्रॉम प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस. ओके, सो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस मु बार बार आपन अगेन कहूचे. वेरी फैक्चुअल अगेन. Ilmenite, rutile are abundantly available in the coastal tracts of India and are the rich sources of which of the following? Aluminium, copper, iron, titanium. Answer is titanium. Titanium ro Wikipedia page ro second paragraph रे दीटा word अछि rutile and ilmenite. And काहे कि आपण Wikipedia माने आपण को स्वप्न तो आसीबनी कि मु चलो titanium रो Wikipedia page खोलिबी. No, स्वप्न आसीबनी. आपण को गोटे रीजन दिया हबो. और से रीजन कोन? एटा ओके, आई हैव नॉट मु स्क्रीनशॉट नेला बेले मे बी एठी ईयर टा मिस कर जायछि. दिस इज 2010 और 12 का क्वेश्चन. मोनाजाइट इज एन ओर ऑफ जिरकोनियम, थोरियम, टाइटेनियम, आयरन. डजंट मैटर आंसर कोन, बट आमु एठी टाइटेनियम देखा गला ना. टाइटेनियम दिसिला माने आमे विकिपीडिया पेज खोलिया आमे बाध्य, बही खोलिबा आमे बाध्य. तो CRPF 2020 रो क्वेश्चन गोटे ऑप्शन रे अछि टाइटेनियम डाइऑक्साइड पिगमेंट. टाइटेनियम देखला माने वी हैव टू गो टू द विकिपीडिया पेज. विकिपीडिया पेज को आई कंसीडर देखंतु यू कैन हैव अ डिबेट कि सर विकिपीडिया पेज रे तो आमे जाय कि किछि भी इंफॉर्मेशन टाइप कर दवा, बट मो एस्पिरेंट स्टेज रे मु जहा देखि छी द इंफॉर्मेशन दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर UPSC इज जनरली इन जनरल 90% ऑफ द टाइम्स रिलायबल फ्रॉम विकिपीडिया. easiest source to gather knowledge from collection from. PIB आस जाउची, मंथली मैगजीन्स आस जाउचंदी, सबु तांको जागा रे आपण को निजो रिसर्च, official websites, Wikipedia, etc. is also important. Okay, and if you went to the Wikipedia page, rutile and ilmenite, you had to note this down in your notebook. If you cannot miss this. If you do this, you cannot miss this. This is how you have to prepare. I told you I'll help you. I'll give you tips as to how you can prepare. This is how you have to prepare. Very factual again, and this was a current affairs question. 3/4 of world's cobalt metal required for manufacturing of batteries for electric motor vehicles. EV motor vehicles तो last 3-4 years है एकदम raging news, right? So you had to know again कि कौन दरकार, कोबाल्ट दरकार. यदि कोबाल्ट दरकार, कोबाल्ट कोठी इंडिया रे कोठी मिले, वर्ल्ड रे कोठी मिले, आउ की हाईएस्ट प्रोडक्शन की कौन? Because in the past these kind of questions have also been asked, and if you had solved that, you would have known कि Congo is the one. DR Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. ये वर्ष एक्चुअली यूपीएससी को कांगो संगे सम स्पेशल लगाव थिला, बिकॉज यहाँ पर आउट क्वेश्चन आसीबो वेर से माने अगेन डायरेक्ट कांगो विषय रे पचरछन. एटा अपन आंसर जान ले. आंसर इज कांगो. ओके, यस, कांगो बेसिन विषय. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट कांगो बेसिन. व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज पार्ट ऑफ अ कांगो बेसिन? ऑप्शंस देछि you had to एठी कैमरून आपन देखा जाउछि आंसर इज कैमरून this tells you that world map world atlas आपन इंडिया मैप इंडिया एटलस धरि की बसी की पढियार अछि this question again was asked because this region is always in news for some sort or the other ethnic conflict. Some tribe or the other tribe keeps murdering each other. They are always at war. In fact, Africa एमती सब बहुत सारा regions पाइजिबे where tribal wars, ethnic wars, terrorism and ए जो Boko Haram अच्छी ये जो Tulu and Hutu tribes अच्छी all those tribes they are always at each other's throats and hence this was asked. Answer is Cameroon. Again, current affairs question. कहीं पचाले because अभी यूक्रेन रो war चलची, यूक्रेन रशिया war चलची. Countries दे आई ची, border कौन? Countries land border. दीटा देखा जीवो अपन को रोमानिया देखा जीवो, हंगरी देखा जीवो. Answer is only 2. आउ समझना है, आउ समझते आसपास अच्छी but these are the one which direct. You had to know this because Ukraine is in news. It's your duty to learn this kind of question. बहुत फेवरेट टॉपिक अमरकंटक यूपीएससी रो बहुत ही ज्यादा फेवरेट ऑलमोस्ट एवरी 4-5 इयर्स रे थरे थरे माने अमरकंटक विषय रे पचारिबे 2007 originates at Amarkantak. Which of the following statements is not true? Narmada rises from Amarkantak. माने आंसर कोन मु कहनी मु कहछि अमरकंटक ऑप्शन रे अछि अमरकंटक जेम से मु कहछि एठी जदी घागर ऑप्शन अछि you have to prepare material on घागर. इंदिरा गांधी कनाल विषय रे पचारछि you should know इंदिरा गांधी कनाल कोड स्टार्ट होछि को रिवर it is getting fed and how it is what is its course. Okay, so Amarkantak is one of their favorite topics. I don't think anyone got this wrong. And this one is actually easy question. If you know what is Sahyadri ranges, then you will obviously mark this wrong. Sahyadri ranges is the other word for Western Ghats. Akku Sahyadri कहा जाए. Okay. Vindhya range 80 कोठी आछी इंडिया रो. This one. Amarkantak 80 कोठी अछि. Okay. So एटा तो याडे 80 गुजरात राशि सॉरी गला. How can it be a meeting point of Amarkantak and Vindhya and the Sahyadri range? It's not possible, right? एटा एमिति तो एठी मोडी हे जाउनी, right? So this option is wrong. Seshachalam hills again asked previous years. This is basically a biosphere reserve. So when you are preparing biosphere reserves of India, you have to prepare Seshachalam hills. And जदि गोटे just a rudimentary map रे position देख देले, Seshachalam hills is somewhere here, आंध्रा रे. ए जो आमे तिरुपति जाऊ ठाकुरों को दर्शन करिया पे तिरुपति तिरुमला. एटा सेठी अछि तिरुपति district रे अछि and they are part of the Eastern Ghats, not the Western Ghats. This was a new option. These two have been asked previously. Seshachalam bhi options re thila previous year ro. Amarkantak bhi options re thila previous year ro. This was a new option. Of course, if you are reading national parks, if you are reading tiger sanctuaries, then you would have come across this Biliranga Hills. I'll show you where. First let me tell you about Amarkantak. So yeah, Amarkantak is here. This is the Vindhya range. This is the Satpura range, and Amarkantak is basically a दी जनकर kind of meeting point. This is the Maikal range. Sahyadri एठी रहगला, also known as the Western Ghats. Okay. And Amarkantak विषय रे गोटे बहुत important जिनस हला कि it is a example of radial drainage. माने since it's at a high point at an elevation, there are many streams that are coming down from Amarkantak. Some of them are Narmada river, the Son river, the Johila river. Amarkantak to direct तो नुहे, but Amarkantak रो टिके extended part रे Mahanadi, Sihava district in Chhattisgarh. Yes, Sihava district in Chhattisgarh. Mahanadi rises from there, but that whole physiographic region is basically part of this Amarkantak plateau. Okay, so radial drainage. अपन पढ़ती है trellis drainage, dendritic drainage, rectangular drainage. So Amarkantak is an example of radial drainage. टाइगर रिजर्व्स ऑफ इंडिया टाइगर रिजर्व्स ऑफ इंडिया रे गोटे टाइगर रिजर्व है बिलिगिरंगा रंगनाथन टेम्पल टाइगर रिजर्व ऑफ कोर्स you have to remember these tiger reserves तार किसी माने मु एठी आपन किसी फॉल्स होप दबा चाहूनी आपन कहबे सर एते सारा केमती भाई करियर अछि बिकॉज़ 5 लाख आउ पिला 10 लाख आउ पिला करूछंती ओके एठी आपन जे देखथांते एठी जदी आपन एठी देखथांते this if you are aware of this option then Biligiranga hills constitute the easternmost part of the Satpura range बुझले ठीक है how it's such a simple question सतपुरा रेंज एबे आपन देखैले एठी अछि बिलिगिरंगा हिल्स एठी अछि so obviously that option is wrong in fact all three options are wrong and here is the Sheshachalam hills these are the biosphere reserves of India Sheshachalam hills एठी one more way in which Sheshachalam hills you could have prepared and you could have known is पूर्व से गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला yes एटा देखिया चाहूँ गोटे हला ecological point of view which one of the following assumes importance in being a good link between eastern ghats and western ghats okay एटी गोटे ऑप्शन अछि शेषाचलम बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व आर आंसर थिला सत्यमंगलम टाइगर रिजर्व so again option से जेहेतु एगुडा अच्छी you have to prepare and another way was red sanders 2016 रे red sanders बिषय पचार थिला a simple google search of red sanders will tell you that it is endemic to a very small region in India and one of those regions is Sheshachalam hills बहुत rampant smuggling हुए थे it is sent to foreign shores बहुत पैसा मिले in fact I think Pushpa movie is about this only okay I have not seen that movie but I have heard many good things about the movie it's about this movie it's about this very factual again east west corridor trilateral highway BCIM corridor economic corridor BCIM trilateral highway and east west corridor तीनटा विषय पचारछि a rudimentary viewing of the map will clear कि कौन answer कौन होगा point is everything is here is wrong all of them are wrong I'll tell you how this is not Dibrugarh and Surat this is Porbandar not Surat it's Porbandar here Surat तो 8 रहेगा and it not Dibrugarh एठी आसाम रे कोठी उठे आसीबो this Silchar ru Porbandar is getting connected not Dibrugarh and Surat okay trilateral highway connects More in Manipur and Chiang Mai in Thailand via Myanmar not Chiang Mai it's Mae Sot so जोड़े place अच्छी called Mae Sot Myanmar this is the region India को to possible and this was the wrong thing there you had to recognize कि Mae Sot is the not Chiang Mai Chiang Mai Pacharchi which is wrong okay and BCIM Uttar Pradesh जाओनी no Calcutta West Bengal connect हो जाए this is the BCIM proposed economic corridor Kunming in China which is there in the option via Bangladesh is coming to Kolkata it is UP kahin it is UP total nahi okay very factual question all three are wrong none is the correct answer next question India despite having uranium deposits depends on coal for most of its electricity production sounds right even if I don't know anything about it it sounds right to me coal production हमें जानचे coal related electricity production India जानचे यदि uranium रू हो थांता सेटा भी हमें जानी थांते but coal is what is this is why the whole climate change debate and renewable energy debate is coming in because of coal so this sounds true for a huge country like India okay statement 2 uranium enriched to the extent of at least 60% is required for production of electricity. This maybe ଟିକେ prior knowledge ଦରକାର ଥିଲା. So first statement is correct. 80 tons in situ 47 uranium deposits in India in these states. You can pause and read, okay? And 3 to 5% concentration of uranium 235 is enough for producing fuel for commercial nuclear power plants. Electricity produce करिया पाई इतनी ही दरकार. In fact 20% रे भी हे जाए. Weapons grade uranium को 90% enrich करिया को पड़े. So this particular option here कि 60% at least दरकार is wrong basically. Electricity पे 60% दरकार नहीं, 3 to 5% रे low grade uranium electricity मिल जिवो. Why was this asked? This was asked because last year CIA, US intelligence service. से मैंने ईरान रे गोटे जगह पाइले called Fohod or Forad, something like that. मतलब मन पढ़नी टिके check कर देवे. Where they found almost 73% enriched uranium. And इतने enrichment is only done for nuclear weapons. So they said कि Iran is developing its own nuclear weapons underground कहा को ना कही के. And hence ताको ऊपर sanctions वगैरह लगे थे. Since this was in news, so you had to be aware of a सब facts. Okay, this sounds correct. So this is statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. ମୁଁ बहुत effort पकेइछि ये सब content बने रे. Okay, so last video रे I saw the response was nice, but आपण मने feedback जमा देई नाहंती कि comment करी बतेबा कि sir this was the issue. sir भी नुए भाई कहि परिवे this was the issue कि sir आउ टिके एमती पढांतु कि भाई एमती टिके आपण आउ करि परिवे. So मु आउ टिके extra effort लगेइ छि एथरा. If you are liking this video so far, please गोटे comment करी जणेबे केमती लागुछि मो efforts, मु आउ कोन changes करि परिबी and आउ कोन मते continue करिया कथा. Thank you. Okay, next question. With reference to Earth's atmosphere, which one of the following statements is correct? Okay. All these options you will find one thing very common is infrared waves. Infrared waves. Infrared waves. Okay. So basically, some knowledge of infrared waves is important here. You know the basics. Light consists of 3 spectrums. The infrared, the ultraviolet, the visible spectrum, the infrared spectrum. Visible ras जाउची हमर विप गियर. This is violet, ता पूर्वरु ultraviolet. This is red, ता परे infrared. This is long wave. This is short wave. And wave is inversely proportional to frequency. So this is high frequency. This is low frequency. Okay, these basics टिके आपन को जाना थिबा दरकार in order to solve this question. Now let's move to the options. कौन अछि एठी कौन पचरा है. Total amount of insolation received at the equator is roughly about 10 times that received at the poles. One thumb rule which is correct in like 9 out of 10 questions in UPSC. What I have noticed, what my friends and those who are already in the services have noticed, anytime they give you a numerical value, जदि 5टा क्वेश्चन रे न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू गोटे ऑप्शन रे अछि, आखि बंद करी कि यू कैन ऑलमोस्ट से कि ए ऑप्शन टा भूल हेतिबो. ओके, दिस इज अ पैटर्न आई हैव नोटिस्ड. सो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट रेड मार्क कि गोटे न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू दिया हिच माने इवन इफ आई डोंट नो इफ इट इज एक्चुअली 10 टाइम्स, ऑल्दो इट साउंड्स एक्सैजरेटेड, 10 टाइम्स द वैल्यू हे परिबो के इंसोलेशन मते लागुनी. ओके, बट इवन देन द सेकंड लॉजिक वाज जेतु नंबर दिया हिची मु ए ऑप्शन को एबे मार्क करिबिनी, एबे ऑप्शन को मु होल्ड रखिबी. मे बी ठीक हेते पारे, मे बी भूल हेते पारे, बट चांसेस इट इज रॉन्ग. ओके, मैं मु एटा मु एग्जाम हॉल रे केमती सॉल्व करिबी एटा ता विषय बतौछ. ओके, दिस ऑप्शन इज रॉन्ग. इट इज नॉट 10 टाइम्स, इट्स अबाउट 2 to 3 टाइम्स. ओके, नेक्स्ट. Infrared rays constitute roughly 2/3 of insolation. Again, गोटे फिगर आसला, गोटे नंबर आसला. अगेन मु आकु भूल मानिकी चलीबी, किंतु मु आगु को ऑप्शंस पढ़ी चलीबी. Infrared waves are a part of visible spectrum of electromagnetic waves of solar radiation. No. आमे भी कौन देखिले तीनटा थिला UV, visible, infrared. एटा अलगा spectrum. This is a alga spectrum. This again is wrong. Now come to this option. ए दिटा होल्ड रे अछि बट मु जान मते फील आछी कि मु जदी ऑप्शन मारियार अछि ए दिटा को मारि बिनी बिकॉज़ सेठी हम मते एनी हाउ 80 प्लस क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करियार अछि 40 टा ही फर्स्ट राउंड रे मु जानची कि मोर श्योर शॉट ठीक अछि बाकी मु जाननी कोन हे पारे कोन नै 40 टा मते गेस करियार अछि राइट यू कैन नॉट से मु 80 टा जाको क्वेश्चन मु ठीक करबी या मु जानी थिबी इट्स अ रॉन्ग एक्सपेक्टेशन दैट यू आर सेटिंग maximum people 35 to 40 questions in round 1 not more than that round 2 then all the guesswork and the jugad and the tikadam starts there okay infrared waves are largely absorbed by water vapor that is concentrated in the lower atmosphere now a basic knowledge of how greenhouse gases work would have told you that this is the right option sunroof this is the land surface these rays जो माने आसुचंती these are ultraviolet एही ताको सबले मन रखथिबे visible infrared ultraviolet आसुचंती ultraviolet short wave rays आसी की बाडे होचंती सी ultraviolet हमें काई कोचे ozone layer and all those Antarctica रो ozone layer जो hole अछि Antarctica all those concepts come over here सब concepts तो मैं बुझा पाए it's beyond the scope but मु यार ओटे basic logic आपन बताउछि ए जे आछुंती these are short wave and this water vapor over here is transparent to this the water vapor आंको किछि absorb करेनी छाड़ दे only thing that absorbs this UV rays is the ozone layer जोटा कि atmosphere रो if this is a troposphere this is the stratosphere somewhere around here is the ozone layer okay so ozone layer is the one which absorbs these UV rays and helps us in not getting skin cancer prevent करे skin cancer right but जेतेले ए बाडे होची एठी these are rays this bounce back also they bounce back is long wave infrared waves short wave UV rays incoming long wave infrared rays outgoing now this is absorbed by water vapor जहाँ भी clouds अच्छी जहाँ भी air रे moisture अच्छी they start absorbing it they trap that heat and this is how greenhouse gases in fact not only water vapor all the greenhouse gases methane carbon dioxide they all trap this long wave and in the lower area of the earth is heated जो कोडी 10 degree celsius तो कोडी 50 degree celsius अपन जेंती ऊपर को जिबे the temperature starts decreasing okay so ground pakhre you have heat you have warm conditions okay this was the basic thing so this option is correct water vapor is absorbing the infrared waves and it is concentrated in the lower atmosphere perfect किछि के नै ए ऑप्शन टा भूल को हे थांदा जदी एठी इंफ्रारेड जगह रे कहि थांदा यूवी रेज ओके या जदी कंसंट्रेटेड लोअर जगह रे कहि थांदा हायर सो एवरी ऑप्शन को भी सेत पय बहुत फोकस सहित पढियार अछि each word is important and now I know कि एटा तो पक्का भूली थी 10 times 2/3 ये तो पक्का ही रॉन्ग हेथिबे मो फर्स्ट इंक्लिनेशन की नंबर देछि माने भूल थिबो इज आल्सो करेक्ट सही थ्योरी टा भी एठी बाजी गला मु खुशी गेली नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ओके से जो मु 10 टाइम्स कथा कहूची सी एई ग्राफ रे एक्चुअली क्लियर होची कोठी कोन 80 डिग्री नॉर्थ इज लाइक पोल्स नियर द पोल्स एति की इंसुलेशन आछे इक्वेटर रे ताटू एति की डिफरेंस रोज which is what if this is somewhere around 250 units this is somewhere around 500 units 2 times almost koi paribe okay and say jo UV visible and infrared kotha kohthili se koche infrared is 2/3 hey paribani because like you see here this is the area this whole is the area and then only this much is the area can this be 2/3 no maximum is taken up by the visible spectrum and this is a solution मो जणे जे फीडबैक देथिले से कहथिले कि सर आपण एते बढ़िया बुझेला परे आउ थे जो पूरा रीड कर तो वीडियोटा लंबा हो जाए सो आई थिंक यू कैन पॉज दिस हियर एंड यू कैन रीड थ्रू इट पीडीएफ तो आपको मिल ही ओके आई जस्ट स्किप टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मु जा कहली एक्जाक्टली से लिखा है सॉइल को जीवा सॉइल इन ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट इज रिच इन न्यूट्रिएंट्स this might sound very intuitive कि हाँ है थी वो कहीं because tropical rainforest are some of the most heavily forested regions in the world माने बहुत गच्छ बहुत वाइल्ड लाइफ बहुत ये तो हुए तो सेठी कार रिच थिबो बोधे न्यूट्रिएंट्स सेट पई एते बढ़िया ये तो लेट्स कीप दैट इन check for it right now if we don't know anything okay the high temperature and moisture of tropical rainforest cause dead organic matter in the soil to decompose quickly okay now here tikke deeper knowledge darkar there is something called leaching ये concept आपण figure देखले भल से बुझ परिबे so soil profile बिसरे जानछंदी you must have read or you will read okay this is a rock horizon over thousands of years over a geological scale of time that's lakhs of years this is how soil development takes place the C horizon, B horizon, E horizon also known as the alluviated horizon or the leaching layer, the A horizon and the O horizon. Okay. हुए कौन जेतेबेले एत्ते वर्षा ट्रॉपिकल रीजन माने से हमु पचारुची इक्वेटर रीजन्स इंडोनेशिया हे गला द सदर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया हे गला एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स ट्रॉपिकल रीजन्स सो सेठी कोन वर्षा बहुत होची जेहेतु वर्षा होची since it's raining too much the water is carrying along with it all the nutrients to the downward layer एबे जा देखेली what is this alluviated or leaching layer since it is raining all the nutrients हमको fertility कहाटो मैटर करे हमको टॉप सॉइल रे fertility दरकार जदी हमको एग्रीकल्चर करियार अछि ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग करियार अछि व्हाटएवर सो हमको 80 fertility दरकार but all the nutrients the phosphorus the calcium the potassium everything is getting leached down to this layer this is leaching जेहेतु एत्ते वर्षा due to the force of gravity leaching is happening and hence this region is actually not fertile in these regions okay so second statement जानियार नथिल दरकार नै हमको नॉलेज बिकॉज़ हमें ऑलरेडी जानछे स्टेटमेंट 1 इज रॉन्ग तो हे तो सिंस आउ किछि एडी ऑप्शन कनेक्ट हे परिबनी असर्शन रीजनिंग क्वेश्चंस को मु आपन वीडियो 1 रे कहितली स्टेटमेंट 1 इज इफ इट इज इनकरेक्ट द स्टेटमेंट 2 हैज टू बी करेक्ट बिकॉज़ ये सब ऑप्शंस आपे आपे एलिमिनेट हे गला बिकॉज़ स्टेटमेंट 1 इज रॉन्ग हाई टेंपरेचर एंड मॉइस्चर ऑफ ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट कॉज डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इन द सॉइल टू डिकंपोज क्विकली दिस इज अ करेक्ट फैक्ट ठीक है बट इन दोनों का कोई लिंक नहीं है बिकॉज ये स्टेटमेंट ही गलत ओके अगेन पॉज करी की यू कैन रीड द एक्सप्लेनेशन the figure also I have alluviation these are complex concepts that you will read okay consider the following statements the temperature contrast between continents and oceans is greater during summer than in winter statement 2 the specific heat of water is more than that of land surface first of all what is specific heat specific heat is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a substance by a certain amount गोटे जिनस को गरम करिया पय हमहु ताऊ केते ततेबार अछि ओके अमाउंट ऑफ हीट केते ततेले गोटे जिनस गरम हबो वाटर फॉर वाटर द फिगर इज 4.2 फॉर लैंड or soil is 0.80 and this is very intuitive even if you did not know the actual values वाटर बॉयल करिया पे yeah so specific heat of water is more than that of land surface This statement is again wrong. The temperature contrast between continents and oceans is greater during summer than in water. This statement is intuitive. Okay. कौन हो तो मैंने से पचारसी कौन oceans and continents, right? A rough India map. Pardon my handwriting or my drawing, but question paper आमे एमती draw करू to show कि आमे India देखिया को चाहूँ. से कहूँ एठी कार temperature and this continental region रो temperature भितरे contrast T2 minus T1 maximum is in summers or winters. से एया जानिया को चाहूँ. Right? Think about it. Just think about it. आमे पूरी जिबा पूरी गले जहाँ भी पागो थाओ it's always not less than 25 degree Celsius. गरम दिने तो it's 40 degree Celsius. काहे की? Because coastal area, water is retaining heat. Water does not lose heat very in a very fast manner. Land एठी आमे जळे उपरु जाउचे हिल स्टेशन जदी आपण केबे जाइथिबे दिन रे खरा थिला बेले नॉर्मल रहबो 30 डिग्री 35 डिग्री रहबो किंतु राती संध्या हो 30 by the time it's 8 pm 9 pm ए सब हिल स्टेशन रेड शिमला फिमला जाबी इज ऑलमोस्ट 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस यदि शीत दिने जिबे -10 डिग्री सेल्सियस. ओके बट जदी तो शीत दिने गले 8 -10 ही जाउची बट शीत दिन रे पूरी रे स्टिल 25 to 35 रहउची. शीत दिने गले एठी गरम दिने गले एठी मैक्स टू मैक्स 10 या फिर 15 डिग्री रहउची आ एठी 35 to 40 ही जाउची. सो इंटुइटिवली इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट दिस हैज टू बी विंटर. बहुत जल्दी ठंडा होची विंटर इन these areas. लेयर है तो -30 डिग्रीज पड़ुची बट समर्स रे चेन्नई रे स्टिल यू विल गेट 40 डिग्री सेल्सियस. आपण चेन्नई जेबे भी जिबे यू विल ऑलवेज गेट 40 डिग्री सेल्सियस. ओके 35 40 डिग्री सेल्सियस. समर एंड विंटर tropical regions, ocean regions do not matter. It's always the same range 30 35 40 45. But winter in land goes to minus and even more. So do difference ला रहइबो, absolute difference ला रहइबो -25 degree Celsius in winters, 10 degree Celsius in summers, 35 degree Celsius in winters, 40 degree Celsius in summers. काव कोड़ा माइनस कले will be greater. Temperature contrast पचरचे. Obviously this 35 minus -25. Temperature contrast is almost 60. 35 minus 10. Temperature contrast is 25. Now it's here. And it's also intuitive, as in भात खाइला बेले जेतेबेले हम गरम गरम आनी कि हमको दउछंती आमे कहूँ 5 मिनट अपेक्षा कर ठंडा हो राइट. बट से पानी जो बॉइल करछे पानी को ठंडा होगा अपन देखिए केत समय लगे ऑलमोस्ट जदि आमे ताकू पीबा को चाहूचे. बॉइल्ड वाटर टेक्स मोर टाइम टू कूल डाउन दैन बॉइल्ड राइस. व्हाई? बिकॉज स्पेसिफिक हीट ऑफ वाटर इज मोर दैन दैट ऑफ एटी लैंड को आमे सॉलिड संगे रिप्लेस कर दो. ओके सिंस बेसी टाइम नेला गरम होबा पई पानी हेन्स बेसी टाइम नब ठंडा होबा पई पानी. सिंस कम टाइम नेला गरम होबा पई सॉलिड हेन्स कम टाइम नब ठंडा होबा पई सॉलिड. दिस इज द लॉजिक एंड हेन्स दिस इज द आंसर. एक्सप्लेनेशन पॉज एंड रीड. Typical geography question from geomorphology. Geomorphology रे earthquake जेतले पढ़िबे you will come across this topic. Earthquake is seismograph. Seismograph रे how we are telling कि earthquake आसिला या फिर आसिया को जाउची फोर शॉक्स आफ्टर शॉक्स earthquake एबे तो earthquake बहुत न्यूज रे भी अच्छी बिकॉज चारि आडे अफगानिस्तान टर्की there has been very heavy destruction due to earthquakes. So hence this question was asked. Seismograph रे all these P waves and the S waves are recorded and they accordingly tell you what's what. Okay, let me give you the brief. P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. This is correct. P waves, P for primary. S for secondary. Khali full form जानते भी you would have told primary because it comes first, it is the earliest. Secondary because it comes next, it is the latest. In P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of propagation, whereas in S waves, the particles vibrate up and down at right angles to the direction of wave propagation. This is absolutely correct. This is absolutely correct. Answer is both 1 and 2. This is the explanation. But figure is what is more important. Okay. See, this is the direction of the energy. P waves re kon hue to and fro. The particles empty jauchandi, empty ashwani, empty ashwani, empty ashwani, empty ashwani, empty ashwani. But ethi particles perpendicular, empty ashwani, empty ashwani. Okay. Hence, because I don't know if you can imagine this, because 8 particle ta empty move kala, eta basic stretch hela. 8 fro towards this direction fila, eta compress hegala. Alternate, it expand hela because 2, it compress hela because fro. Then A region re again is getting expanded, A region re again is getting fro. This is to and fro. And what is S wave? S wave jehetu perpendicular se A region ko uthei dela, next wave re A region ko pakai dela, then ethi uthei dela, then pakai dela. So the statement is correct. This is the explanation. While you are reading you are preparing the earthquake topic, you'll read all these things. What is P waves? P waves ethi core achi. P waves kemti travel karanti, emti refract hebe, ethi gote shadow region baniba. It's beyond the scope of this explanation right now because ethi ari upre adhonda ame kotha hai pariya. But you will know, you'll get to know all these things. एबे हमें एनवायरनमेंट को एंटर कले. नाउ दिस एनिमल्स एंड ऑल एबे जाय कोर ज्योग्राफी चलथिला, एबे हमें एनवायरनमेंट को जिबा. Marsupials. Pretty sure you have heard this word. Marsupials. So best example hochi kangaroo. Australian cricket team, the kangaroos. They are not naturally found in India. Correct? Yes, they are not naturally found in India. They can thrive only in montane grasslands with no predators. Now this is wrong. This is an extreme word. Eta again UPSC ro trick. Only all ei sobu jinso jete bele asibo number jaha कहली asla mane you have to know that option is wrong. Okay. No, marsupials cannot only in montane grasslands. Marsupials, as a matter of fact, these are the marsupials. Eti amo kangaroo babu achandi. But if you don't know, there is one called koala bear. There's a wombat. There's a opossum. There's a wallaby. The Tasmanian devil. Okay, these are the examples of marsupials. कौन marsupials रो मानने कौन ना सही kangaroo जहाँ अपन देखी चंदी mother's belly भितरे गोटे pouch अच्छी. In a pouch they give birth to a tiny immature embryo. The embryo then continues to grow and develop in a pouch in the mother's belly. This is their distinguishing feature. Ame mammals, ame humans, animals, ये समझते not eggs. They are a separate category. Mammals माने छुआ fully develop मार womb भितरे होची. But एठी से आगे immature embryo बाहर जाउची. Then that immature embryo is getting fed in the is growing in the mother's belly. Australia, Wallacea and the Americas. Americas contains both North and South America. Wallacea is the region between Australia and Indonesia. छोटो region को Wallacea को आ जाए because it Wallace line जाए. Again another concept some other time. 70% of 334 some facts. Australian continent रे maximum अछंती marsupials. Remaining 30% are distributed across the Americas, primarily in the South America. North America रे जॉनिए मिले खाली से हला वर्जिनिया ओपोसम. ओके, अब जस्ट फैक्चुअल मु किछटा बनेगी आंथिली आपनो पे. ओके, वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. Yes, direct repeated 2001 question. Marsupials. Same. The moment you see marsupials, you have to know what is marsupial. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर देखो सेठी पचारची कोठी कोठी आमे जानले जे साउथ अमेरिका रे भी मिलची नॉर्थ अमेरिका रे भी मिलची एंड एठी ऑस्ट्रेलिया रे भी मिलची अब एठी ऑप्शन साउथ अमेरिका भी अच्छी ऑस्ट्रेलिया रे भी अच्छी बट सिंस द क्वेश्चन इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर आमे एठी एटा ऑस्ट्रेलिया मार्क करथांते ओके एंड सीएपीएफ ज्योग्राफी 22 रे सीएपीएफ हां सेंट्रल आर्म पुलिस फोर्स रो एग्जाम अगेन एठी भी अच्छला फर्स्ट अपीयरेंस ऑफ द मार्सुपियल्स and these are the ages that they have asked. So marsupials, the moment you see this option you have to know कि I have to prepare content on this. They hang ହେଇଯାଉଛି for some reason. Okay. Factual question. IUCN invasive species specialist group develops global invasive species database and this group belongs to which one of the following organizations? IUCN. Very repeatedly asked. IUCN, so almost every year you will get an option where you will see the term IUCN. The answer is the option is always there IUCN. So you had to prepare. ଯଦି IUCN ଆପଣ Wikipedia page खोलिबे मु मोरी notes बनै कि आपण ପାଇଁ आनछि. These are my notes on IUCN and traffic. So IUCN, it's an international NGO where membership is of governments and civil societies. Headquarter is at Gland, Switzerland, formed in 1948. ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ red data book ବାହାର କରନ୍ତି जो critically endangered, vulnerable, near threatened and all those things red data book रे बाहरे तांकर गोटे species survival commission अच्छी under which you have a invasive species specialist group जोड़ा basically एठी पचारछे ए पचारछे right invasive species specialist group. So a rudimentary reading of the Wikipedia page again of IUCN would have told you the answer is IUCN. Okay, these are my notes only. And then IUCN related out mu seiti tatole 8 abisri bani detli traffic. This is also previously asked aspect. Cambridge re headquartered, what is the full form and what not. But our focus is here. Thank you. Factual. Waggle dance for others to indicate direction and distance of source of their food. आंका भितरु के करंती? The answer is honeybees. So what actually happens? You know how intelligent honeybees are. Elephants, honeybees. तांको आजा almost तांको intelligence is as good as our human society. तांको conversation, तांको communication, जेमती भी से माने develop करचंती तांकर base. Their intelligence is considered almost equal to us. Answer is honeybees. What happens is, एठी गोटे honeybees रो छत्ता beehive. Okay, some of them will travel a far distance to look for food. This can be anywhere between 100 meters to 1000 meters or even 20 to 100 meters, anything, anywhere. एठी से माने food पाइले. Okay, some few have come here and they gathered that there is food here. Okay, now they'll go back. They'll tell them that we found a food source at this location, at this distance, in this direction. That style of telling is known as waggle dance. See what a style re dance karanti, eight style re dance karanti, and each rotation means something. Gote rotation might mean 10 meters, another rotation might means 20 meters. So एते details again हमको दरकार नहीं, हमको just जानियार अच्छी जे they are doing this to communicate their thing, and you can actually YouTube this to see actually what is waggle dance. आप इसरे अपन photos YouTube बहुत माने easily पाई जेबे इंटरनेट रे. So एठी हमें आ भीतर को जाएंगी what is the dance कौन ये हमरे ते दरकार ही नहीं. Okay, explanation टिके तो थाई बनेगी आंची आपनों पे. Coming to the next question. And in fact the set of next 3 questions are basically freebies. They are designed ki if you are a new aspirant, you should not get 0. You should not get negative. You take +2. Easy. जो तुमको दिया. UPSC is thinking behind these questions. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties. Some mushrooms have psychotropic properties. Some mushrooms have insecticidal properties. Some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. The key behind these questions is you just have to think, hey थिबो ऐसा हो सकता है, हाँ ये भी हो सकता है, हाँ हो सकता है कुछ एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी नहीं लग रहा, हाँ ये भी हो सकता है कुछ अलग नहीं लग रहा, कहता ना सम मशरूम्स कैन टॉक टू ह्यूमन बींग्स तो सेठी तो कहता नहीं ये ठीक है अधिका है मे बी द ऑप्शन इज रॉन्ग बट एवरीथिंग एल्स सीम्स लाइक अ प्लॉसिबिलिटी एंड हेंस द आंसर इज ऑल फोर. किछि ना किछि गोटे एग्जांपल दरकार बस टू प्रूव दैट माय आंसर इज करेक्ट. तो द ओनस इज ऑन यूपीएससी टू डिस्प्रूव यू कि दैट नो तमे केमती कहि दोचो एटा भूल. नो तमे जदि गोटे एग्जांपल देखे देलो दिस बिकम्स करेक्ट एंड दैट इज बेसिकली द थिंकिंग बिहाइंड दिस क्वेश्चंस. एग्जांपल्स खाली केतेटा बत्ती दोची. मेडिसिनल मशरूम्स पचारची, साइकोएक्टिव पचारची, इंसेक्टिसाइडल पचारची एंड बायोल्यूमिनेसेंट पचारची. आंग समस्त पा एग्जांपल्स अछि. दिस इज एग्जांपल हियर, हियर इज एन एग्जांपल हियर एंड दिस थिंग पेनेलस स्टिप्टिकस. तो सब जिनस एग्जांपल मिल जिवो. इजी क्वेश्चन, इजी +2. Same question. Some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature above the boiling point. Some microorganisms can grow in environment with temperature below the freezing point. Some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment below with a pH level below 3. Again, मु भाभी भी हो सकता है, yes हो सकता है, yes हो सकता है. गोटे बहुत एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट हो जाए था जदि with temperature above the boiling point माने I have to imagine what somewhere around 105 degree Celsius 110 degree Celsius not more than that या max to max चलो 120 और 150 हे थी वो. I'll say कि हाँ हो सकता है, ठीक है. Microorganisms they are known to be very resilient creatures से environment according निजो को adapt करती. So हो सकता है. यदि एटी गोटे डायरेक्ट दे देता 1000 डिग्री सेल्सियस 550 डिग्री सेल्सियस ताहले मु भाभी था कि ओके दिस सीम्स अ बिट अनरियलिस्टिक एंड आई वुड हैव केयर्ड कि मे बी दिस ऑप्शन इज रॉन्ग. बट व्हेन द ऑप्शन हैज बीन वर्डेड लाइक दिस अबव द बॉइलिंग पॉइंट in temperature in environments with temperature below the freezing point, of course Antarctica और Arctic रे कौन नथिबे microorganisms थिबे. highly acidic environment, of course highly acidic is what the soil रो जो है हमको layer देखोतली A B C layer. So sometimes this is a very acidic layer in some regions of the country. सेठी को microorganisms नथिबे निश्चय थिबे. आ एटा खाली आपन के भाबियार अछि थाई पारंती. Again the answer is all three. Okay, +2, easy +2. Examples, pause and read please. Okay, examples and some explanation. Same question again. Coal based thermal power plants in India, none of them uses seawater, none of them is set up in a water stressed district, none of them is privately owned. एक्सट्रीम बहुत ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम. नन माने कौन एमती जमा नथिबो वाटर स्ट्रेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स तो इंडिया रे एते सारा गोटे रे भी नथिबो हेई परिबनी. नन ऑफ देम यूजेस सी वाटर. एते सारा कोस्टल बेल्ट्स रे गुजरात रे महाराष्ट्र रे एते सारा टाटा रो अडानी रो अंबानी रो समस्त को पावर प्लांट्स अछि कौन गोटे भी सी वाटर यूज करत नथिबो हेई परिबनी. नन ऑफ देम इज प्राइवेटली ओन्ड. अरे आमे तो निजे आजिकली टाटा को पैसा दोचे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल दोचे तो एटा भी हेई परिबनी. None. Okay. खाली एग्जांपल्स बता दो. मुंड्रा privately owned, Adani draws sea water from the Arabian Sea. Okay. मुंड्रा विषय में आउट क्वेश्चन रे पढ़ते. Mundra located in the Kutch district and Kutch is known for its water scarcity. It is a water stressed district. And again because हमें मुंड्रा विषय रे कथा होचे अडानी रिलायंस रो भी अछि जेएसडब्ल्यू एनर्जी भी अछि. सो बहुत इजी +2 फटफट सांग सांग मार्क कलो. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन को बढ़लो. आउ एटा एक स्टाइल रे आग्रो भी क्वेश्चन पचरा है. सम स्पीशीज ऑफ टर्टल्स आर हर्बिवोरस, सम स्पीशीज ऑफ फिश आर हर्बिवोरस, Some species of marine mammals are herbivorous. Some species of snakes are viviparous. Bas, option is 1, 2, 3, 4. You just need one example to tell you that this question is correct, and obviously there has to be some example because everything sounds plausible. So it is basically logical reasoning rather than your knowledge. Okay, CSAT question epode pachar deichandi in a very squirrels beside a question last year which actually surprised everyone because none of us knew, or very few of us knew, that they can be omnivorous. आमे सब बेले तांको देखिचे ई नट्स वगैरह नहीं कि खाइबा या गछरे पत्र गछर फल वगैरह खाइबा, बट एक्चुअली स्क्विरल्स आर ओमनिवोरस. से छोटे छोटे एनिमल्स भी खाते. दे स्टोर देयर फूड मटेरियल्स लाइक नट्स एंड सीड्स इन द ग्राउंड. दिस इज अ रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट. से माने ट्री रे दे आर आर्बोरियल क्रिएचर्स. ट्री रे से माने नेस्ट बनाती. My bad. This is right. This is wrong. This is right. They store their food materials like nuts and seeds in the ground. This is correct. They build nests by making burrows in the ground. This is wrong. My bad. Absolutely sorry. Okay. They store their food materials. Yes. In fact, they are known to forget where they have kept the food material. ସେମାନେ କୋଉଠୁ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଆଣିକି dig କରିକି ତାକୁ ଲୁଚେଇ ତ ଦେବେ, ତାପରେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଆନ୍ତି କି ମୁଁ ରଖିଛି କୋଉଠି. But they do not build nests by making burrows in the ground. They are not underground creatures. They are arboreal creatures. They live on trees. They nest on trees. Answer is 2 options. These nests are called drays in trees, not burrows in the ground. Primarily herbivorous, but they also eat insects and small animals. Okay. हाँ, एठी आपन टी मुंडो वाला क्वेश्चन आछे. मुंडो लगे वाला क्वेश्चन. Even if you don't know this question, you had to get this answer right. को पचारछे? Which of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrape insects from a hole in a tree or a log of wood? गोटे गछ अछि, एथे एमती सब जो होल्स थांती, छोट छोट इंसेक्ट्स थिबे. Which is this animal जे गोटे स्टिक यूज करिकि तांको टाणी आनछि खाइबा पय? ओके. Options रो अपन जानी पारथिबे कि to do this kind of stuff you have to be intelligent, you have to be evolved in an intellectual sense. Okay, which of these options tells you that एमती intelligent हेई पारथिबे? If we have come from monkeys, or what Darwin is saying, if we have come from apes, from monkeys, if they are our ancestors, this had to be the most logical guess. किछि केही जान नथले ए क्वेश्चन, किंतु समस्त ए क्वेश्चन ठीक करचंती बिकॉज तांको लागिला एग्जाम हॉल रे बसी कि एटा ही हेइथिबो. एंड सेइथि पई एठी आउ किछि ऑप्शन दिया हैनी. एठी चिंपैंजी जदी दे देथांता क्वेश्चन पिला को छाडी के आस्थांते, बट ओरांगुटान गोटिए ही ऑप्शन अछि. यदि डी रे चिंपैंजी थांता इट वुड हैव बीन डिफिकल्ट कि चिंपैंजी भी करथाय पारे, ओरांगुटान भी करथाय पारे. बट जदी चिंपैंजी देनी स्लॉथ, बेयर, ओटर, फिशिंग कैट, all these people they are not as intellectual as an orangutan. And it तार गोटे फोटो भी अच्छी. से स्टिक यूज करछि to scrape insects from okay. Simple question. टिके leap of faith. एठी आखि बंद करी कि ए 2 मार्क्स मु पाई भी करी कि मार्क करियर अछि, एमतिया क्वेश्चन छाडी के आसियार नै. टिके टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन असला, but again factual. Community reserve विषय पचाचे. Once the central government notifies an area as a community reserve, what happens? Okay, the chief wildlife warden of state becomes the governing authority of such forest. Wrong. Hunting is not allowed. Correct. People of such area are allowed to collect non-timber forest produce. Non-timber forest produce. यदि non टा word न थांदा ताले भूल जाय थांदा. But since non टा अछि, correct. People of such areas are allowed to practice traditional agricultural practices. Traditional रे तो हमें सबू दे दोचे ना, chemical सबू ये कर दोचे, but no, that's not allowed. Since it's a lot of theory, I'll just read it out to you. Conservation. First of all, what are conservation reserves? Conservation reserves, the Indian Wildlife Act, national parks बतौची, वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज बतौची,
Sinti ଆଉ dita answer ଆଉ dita jinsa bi achi called conservation reserves and community reserves. What are these? They act as buffer zones or connectors and migration corridors between established national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, reserved and protected forests of India. Okay, so if this is a national park on this border of say Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, this is a national park in Chhattisgarh. Suppose एही area रे एते vegetation नहीं, forest like vegetation नहीं, okay, but this area still has to be conserved because animals will go from here to here and here to here through this area. So what the government does is it announces कि एटा गोटे conservation reserve. If it's a government owned land, then it is announced as a conservation reserve. If अब जदि एठी कि ने जमी किनी देछि, से जमी को किनी देछि, but government says कि no, we need this for migration of, it acts as a migration corridors, we need this for migration of animals from this to this, then in that case it is a community reserve. Such areas are designated as conservation reserves if they are uninhabited, completely owned by the government, and community areas if part of the lands are privately owned. Okay, I hope the funda is clear. Now आमे कहीं फर्स्ट कहीं भूल कले चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन जो पचार थिला, आमे कहले नहीं ए ऑप्शन टा भूल अछि, राइट, ए ऑप्शन टा भूल अछि. Why? Because section 36D of the Wildlife Protection Act says the state government shall constitute a community reserve management committee. This is responsible for the governance of the community or the conservation reserve. Gote committee basibo. Chief wildlife warden is not the one who is responsible. Gote committee base that is responsible for the management and the governance. And it likaichi once the forest land has been declared as a community reserve, it goes from being governed by the local village councils to coming under the forest department. Forest has been made into a community reserve. People cannot hunt, जोड़ा कि option number 3 रे थिला, people cannot hunt, nor can they use it for agricultural practices, which was option number 4. तो AI पचारची, and hence the answer is only 2. Okay, now that we are done with our traditional questions, we are now on to some controversial questions. What are controversial questions? Every year UPSC comes up with these bouncers where coaching institutes, experts, faculty members, everyone sits, puts their mind into कि यार answer कहीं परे, यहाँ answer कहीं परे, यहाँ answer कहीं परे. They release their own answer keys. कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट ए गोटे रिलीज कला, बी जने रिलीज कला, को एक्सपर्ट फैकल्टी जने रिलीज कले, ठीक अच्छे, एंड देन गोटे वर्ष पर यूपीएससी ता आंसर की रिलीज करे. सो यूपीएससी जल ता आंसर की रिलीज करिवो, ऑलवेज देयर इज अ वेरिएंस इन 4 to 5 क्वेश्चंस. ऑलवेज सबु एमाने सबु रिसर्च करके रखिथिबे, एकदम गोटे गोटे सोर्स रु उठेबे कि एईटा एठु पचरा हिची, एईटा एठी लेखा हिची, एमते लेखा हिची, बट पता नहीं यूपीएससी रो कौन थिंकिंग, कौन तांकर क्वेश्चन सेटर रो कौन माइंडसेट, कौन खाइकी कौन पीकी क्वेश्चन सेंटर सेट करथिला, या कौन खाई पी के आंसर टाइप करिया को देथिला. से एई चारटा पांचटा क्वेश्चन रो निश्चय आंसर गोटे अलगा देथिबो. एमान जदि तार ए देथिबे, एमान तार बी देबे, एमान जदि सी देथिबे, एमान डी देबे, एमान जदि ओनली 1 देबे, एमान कहबे नाही ओनली 2. बुझिलो? सो एमतिया एई वर्ष भी यूपीएससी रो आंसर की एबे 2 दिन तळे आछि. मु फर्स्ट वीडियो रे कहितली कि केतरा कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चन अछि, मु डील करिवि आफ्टर द आंसर की हैज कम. बट केतरा सीमिंगली नॉन कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चंस जार आंसर सीधा सीधा जणा पड़छि कि एया ही हबो, यूपीएससी एथरा सेथरे भी गेम खेल देछि. लेट्स सी कोन गेम खेलाय छै. ए क्वेश्चन दा अशोक गुलाटी, बहुत फेमस राइटर ऑन एग्रीकल्चर एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया, तांकर गोटे आर्टिकल रु डायरेक्ट सोर्स करिकि मु इन्फॉर्मेशन बाहर करछि. सो इंडिया हैज मोर एरेबल एरिया देन चाइना, करेक्ट. Proportion of irrigated area is more in India as compared to China, correct. I'll show you the data in the next slide. Average productivity per hectare in Indian agriculture is higher than that in China. Wrong. एटा तो हमें जानचे, एटा तो श्योर शॉट हमें जानचे कि चाइना रो प्रोडक्टिविटी एग्रीकल्चर रे बहुत हाई. ए डेटा भी करेक्ट. आंसर शुड हैव बीन ओनली 2 and I have data for it. Almost every institute has data for it. First of all, it should be clear to you, if you look at the physiographical maps of China and India, China ro almost 50%, in fact this Tibet also, this whole region deserts. एठी तिबेट कोल्ड डेजर्ट आसला, एठी टकला मकान डेजर्ट अच्छी, एठी गोबी डेजर्ट अच्छी. ओनली दिस ईस्टर्न पार्ट जोड़ी की मॉनसून्स अच्छी, नॉर्थ ईस्ट मॉनसून्स कहते ताको, दिस इज अवेलेबल फॉर एठी ही वर्षा हुए, एठी ही सॉइल फर्टाइल एंड हेंस एठी ही इरिगेशन एग्रीकल्चर सब बेसिक. That's less than 40% of China's land. Okay, but India, if you think about it, हिमालयस को छाड़ देले और चारि और ये थार डेजर्ट को छाड़ देले, इस सबु रीजन्स रे एग्रीकल्चर होचे. माने without reading the facts, without knowing the facts, I'm telling you how you could have intuitively guessed कि आंसर कौन होगा. Okay, facts तुमने भी देखे भी. तो these questions, India has more arable area than China seems correct. जदि मु खाली मैप विषय भाबी देली, and the proportion of irrigated area is more in India as compared to China also seems correct, because India is blessed with rivers, seasonal rivers, and even annual जे कि पूरा always they have water, they don't go dry. Okay, perennial rivers. ठीक है, mental block है जेतला. Okay, now come to the facts. India and China are the most populous countries. However, with limited arable land, about 120 million hectares in China and 156 million hectares in China. So option 1 is correct. China's irrigation cover is 41% of cultivated area. India's is 48%. Total area is 166 million in China compared to 198 million in China. This is World Bank data. This is data given by the best of experts, sourced from the best of platforms. So this is also intuitively correct, even factually be correct. And of course, आमे थर्ड टा तो जानचे भूल थिला, एटा मोर सोर्स भी एठी लिंक कर देछि, आपण पीडीएफ रे क्लिक करी पढी परिबे. With 3 times India's 400, China's agricultural output value is this much, India's output is this much. Because China's fertilizer consumption is बहुत high, no wonder China's productivity is crops is 50 to 100% higher than India's. And option 3 रे पचार थिला कि India's productivity is higher, not China's. So option 3 is correct. Answer should have been only 2 statements. But UPSC sir game खेल देले. Say only one देचन. 4 A answer दिया है. Who knows? All the experts that I know and all the coaching institutes that I know the people there, everyone is stumped. What kind of answer is this? If you know what's the logical explanation or केमती एटा ए हबो, please do tell me in comment. I would also like to be enlightened, because I am not claiming I know everything. मु जहां इंटरनेट रु पाई कि आपन पई रिसर्च करी खोजी कि आंची सेया ही मते माने मु एठी आपन देखौछ. ओके, and the last question, बहुत interesting question. Consider the following fauna. तीनटा animals दिया है. You have to tell which of them are nocturnal or most active after sunset. Okay, again यहाँ पे भी answer should have been 2. Sambar deer is nocturnal, also the state animal of Odisha. Malabar civet is, and this is not. Okay, only 2. Again more notes from मोटी के screenshots paste कर दीजिए. Please bear with me. Malabar civet endemic to Western Ghats. मु निजे लेखी की भी जाइथली, considered nocturnal. Lion tail macaque, old world monkey, Western Ghats, diurnal, not nocturnal. Okay, so option 1 is wrong. मु screenshots भी आणची to show कि Malabar civets are actually nocturnal. Good test, simple Google search screenshot. Considered nocturnal, typically solitary and nocturnal. सबुआडे nocturnally दिया है Malabar civet. Okay, then Sambar deer, एटा होची PMF IAS गोटे बही बाहर करे तार एनवायरनमेंट रो, एटा सेठू सोर्स्ड. So again Sambar is nocturnal or also called crepuscular, also called dawn. माने those animals which are active after dawn. Distribution India except आमो ये 300 दरकार नहीं, आमो खाली जाना पड़ला जी this is nocturnal. Okay, and again screenshots आणचे. This is wildlifesos.org. Some other very important websites. This is Wikipedia. Nocturnal. 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 Answer should have been 2. Answer is again 1 only. Answer एटी A ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ. भाई I cannot explain this. ମାନେ कौन से भाभी की एटा ये करछन्ते. तो again if you know कि एटा कौन भाभी के आंसर A ଦେଇଥିବେ, do enlighten me, do enlighten us all. जे सब ये वीडियो देखछन्ती कमेंट सेक्शन रे जाके लिखंतु what are your thoughts, what are ये and what can be the possible reasoning. Okay, and I think that's the end of yes, that's the end of this video. You for now, thank you and stay tuned for part 3 of this video series. For now, I would like to take your leave. आज हम environment and geography रो close to 30 to 35 questions cover कर ले. पूर्व क्लास से 20-25 questions cover कर देख ले economy और polity रो. Next is history, science tech, some miscellaneous agriculture and current affairs question, which I'll come back with in a very in a few days time, maximum 3-4 days. Please, like I said in the middle of the video, you have to tell me how I am doing, what things I am doing wrong. Am I going overboard with some things जो ठीक ही आपन लागु कि नहीं सर एटा दरकार नहीं, एटा आपन स्किप करि परिबे, आपन लागु कि नहीं सर एटा करंतु. प्लीज आपन कमेंट करि बतांतु, फीडबैक दियंतु. लाइव फीडबैक रे मूवी इंप्रूव करि परिबे. आई कैन गेट बेटर एट माय जॉब. एंड आपन को आम इंस्टीट्यूट रो फर्स्ट स्लाइड रे देखेली ऑल द कोर्सेस दैट आर कमिंग अप and all the scholarship tests. You can call us, and until next time, like and subscribe to this channel, to this video. Thank you.